Hello and welcome to another episode of the Dumpster Diaries. I am Moses Wartooth and I'm here with
Justin Allen.
And we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Who would have knew? So, Justin, what do you got for us today?
I don't know, man. It's been like an interesting week since the last time we produced a video. But what I find the most interesting to talk about right now is, have you heard about the boxing match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul?
Oh, yeah. And that in itself, whenever I first heard about that, I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
Because that used to be a meme, like Jake and Logan Paul would fight anyone, and it was including like old people, like ex-fighters and shit, and now that is becoming a reality. So.
Yeah. It's scheduled. It's like in July, actually.
Yeah.
For it to go down. Yeah, dude. So I'm like really excited because I don't know if you guys listen to like our old episodes, man. I'm a huge fan of Mike Tyson. I think hands down is probably, I would consider him to be the greatest boxer that's ever walked the face of the earth.
And he's insane.
He's entertaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's super entertaining.
He's not just like, oh, I'm rich, like whatever. Like I just, buy shit or whatever and party. Like no, like he says
he does all that and he's weird as shit.
Yeah, man. I don't think it's a fair fight.
No.
I'm not downplaying Tyson's like ability to box right now, like by any means. But I mean, the guy's in his 50s. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then how old is Jake Paul, man? Like that dude,
probably about 30. He's
ballparking 30.
He was probably in his prime boxing age or whatever. Prime age for all like physical.
So
shit.
we can at least say that because fights he has been in, he's fucked people up, man. Like he just fought what was it, Nate Diaz or whatever, not too long ago, and that was a pretty goddamn brutal fight if you have to ask me, man. But I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I know they're gonna get paid.
Oh, they're like, this is gonna be and it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix?
Yes. The fight,
it's gonna be live
on Netflix.
That's cool. I do like that because I have been wanting to I've been wanting Netflix to start doing live sports, man. So that is kind of cool. I'm definitely watching that shit.
So do you think it's gonna be scripted?
I want to say no, man, because I like to think there's still like some honesty in sports, but probably, I don't know. When you start talking about that level of money and stuff, like it's you can see how corruption can get.
Yeah, because
in there.
I mean, Tyson he doesn't really aside from the money, which I mean he's rich already, but what does he really stand to gain from fighting Jake Paul? Like Jake stands a shitload to gain from even being in the ring with Mike Tyson.
Well, that shit, like remember when Mayweather fought McGregor a few years back? I think the loser, which was McGregor by decision, right? If I remember right. I want to say he cleared $200 million off that fight, and he lost.
And then Mayweather had that remember that picture of him with like that table full of money that was just
that's massive. Why they're doing it. They're not doing it because like, I mean, it's not like a title fight. I mean,
I get that, but at the same time, like, I don't know. That I want to know how much they're going to get paid a piece. I want to know how much Netflix gets, all that shit.
Yeah,
it's going to be fucking insane, man.
It's going to be wild. And then Jake Paul's the kind of guy, like, he'll brag about it later, too.
Oh, 100%.
He's going to be like, yeah, this is how much money I made or whatever.
Yeah, that's true, too.
But you can't deny it. I know a lot of people hate Jake Paul, dude, but I got to give that dude props, man. Like, he's actually turned out to be a fucking pretty hard fighter, man. Like, I would not want to go toe-to-toe with that dude. But Tyson's crazy, so I'm hoping... I just kind of want Tyson to try to bite his ear off. That's all I want, man. And I think it could be kind of funny. It could be kind of comical, like, because like Jake Paul is like used to all these like very professional fights. Okay, like yes, we are fighting, but there's a lot of rules that are involved in this, right? But then Tyson can become an animal, dude.
Yeah.
And I just hope that Tyson gets in the ring.
He channels his inner youngster back.
Goes back to the 80s, you know what I mean? Like, and then he just fucking loses his shit and starts trying to bite his ear off. And then Jake Paul becomes scared.
It would be funny. If the fight was scripted.
Yeah.
And Tyson is supposed to lose, but he gets pissed off during the fight and is like, fuck this, and just beats the dog shit out of him.
He living shit out of him.
And Paul is like, no, this isn't what we agreed on.
Help. He's like asking them to stop the fight and shit, But regardless, it's going to be very entertaining.
Yeah.
But I do have to say this, like for some people who may not know, I don't know how you couldn't know, Mike Tyson was the heavyweight boxing world champion at the age of 19 in the 80s. Like that's wild, man. So I don't know. But like I said, I still don't think it's a fair fight, because we'll just say round ballpark it. Tyson's probably got 20, 25 years on Jake.
Probably,
you know what I mean?
probably 20, 25 for sure.
You know, so I mean, I don't care who you are, what good shape you are in or were in. That a few decades that's gonna change the playing field a lot, man. But
it is. I don't know. I mean, I've seen videos of him sparring recently, and I mean, he's still obviously he's still powerful as shit. He's got that, but I don't know if he's got the speed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he'd argue, like, obviously over the average person, yeah, he's still a fucking badass. But I'm talking about fighting someone in their prime who does know what they're doing. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. You remember how he was in the Hangover movie?
Yeah.
All right. You know that guy, like the dentist or whatever? I can't remember the actor's name. Stu, but the character Stu. Yeah. He gets punched by Tyson in the movie. Okay, so I watched an interview with him, and he had Tyson really punch him.
Fuck.
Because he was like, whoa, like this is like, I'm never going to get this chance ever again, right? I wouldn't do that.
He did it for bragging, right?
Yeah. And so, like, apparently Tyson punched him, and that dude said that is the he knocked out instantly.
No surprise.
Yeah. He said that is the hardest he's ever been hit by anything in his entire life. And Tyson was like, dude, I held back like 50%. He was like, I didn't even give you like full force. And he was like, you can hit harder than that? And he's like, yeah, dude. Like, I mean, at that point, like, you can literally like murder someone with your hands.
Oh, for sure.
You have to be careful getting in any physical altercation with like a regular person.
Yeah, because like their hands are considered deadly weapons. Like they can get charged with use of a deadly weapon.
Like make it aggravated or something like that, you know? Like, dude. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the kind of world we live in now, you know? I mean, you see a lot of, like, dumb young guys, like, picking fights and stuff, and I'm like, dude, you don't really know, like, who goes... Because there's so many MMA gyms and shit now. Yeah.
And you those those guys, like, they typically aren't, like, jacked and huge.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
They're fucking sleeper builds. You don't know what you're getting into.
Like my buddy Eric, he actually, I was in the military with him and stuff, and he fought in like amateur circuits and stuff. Mm-hmm. But he got out, and then he actually owns and operates a gym in Dallas that does MMA.
Oh, that's cool.
Mostly for like younger people. But he had a guy that he trained. I can't remember the dude's name, man. He actually made it to the UFC.
Damn.
He's one of the lower weight classes or whatever. Gosh darn it, man. I wish I could remember that guy's name, because my buddy Eric, because I still have him on Facebook and everything, like his personal Facebook, and it popped up, and he had a picture of him in the ring with the guy he's training, like the guy's team and everything, and then like Joe Rogan's next to them, like right after the fight.
Oh shit!
And I was like, what, dude? Like, this is such a small world, man. Like, you know. But I don't know. At least with this fight, this Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight, I think it would be kind of funny, like if Joe Rogan was there. like hosting it or whatever.
I'm sure he's
at least going to be watching.
He'll want to be there. Well, hell, that's in Dallas. He will. I wouldn't be surprised if he at least goes.
That's not far.
He probably
man.
will fucking
Especially
go.
Flying there, like from Austin to Dallas. That's quick, man. You know. But and plus, like him and Tyson are actually really good friends. So it is going to be a good fight regardless, man. Like I'm excited to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
And even more excited probably to see how much money they make.
Yeah, I really want to know.
But I am
the financial.
I'm calling it now, man. I think Tyson might actually knock Jake Paul's dick in the dirt, dude.
I hope that's what happens.
Because I feel like that dude kind of needs it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Jake needs to get handled one good time. You know? Because I feel like he's getting a little cocky because he keeps winning these fights with all these pro fighters.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know. And plus, like, no one likes him, especially from like his early internet days or whatever. He just kind of annoyed the shit out of everybody.
Him and his brother.
I mean, I remember seeing their early YouTube videos, and I was like, oh, these guys are obnoxious as hell, dude. You know, but also they're what, like billionaires now or some shit like that. You know, probably getting close.
You can hate on them all you want, but they've fucking made a name for themselves and they got rich as fuck. So you can't argue with that.
They figured something out, right?
Yeah.
So who the fuck are we to talk, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, like I don't see us getting any fat checks from YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Speaking of fat checks, dude, that does remind me. What was that?
Sorry, I thought fat chicks.
Oh, sorry, checks, like money. Freaking the guy that Cat Williams did the podcast with, not Joe Rogan.
Shay.
Yeah, it was the Club Shay podcast. The one that basically just broke the internet, right? It got like 40 million views in 2 days or whatever. I saw that dude. I think his name's Shannon Sharp, isn't it?
That's it. Yep.
Shannon Sharp. Yeah. He said that from that one episode that he did with Cat Williams, he made more money from that one episode than he ever made in a single year of playing for NFL.
That's insane.
And then I looked it up, and apparently 1 year he got so he didn't say for like an entire contract, but he just said for a single year, right? So I looked it up, and then at one point, I guess he played for the Baltimore Ravens, and at one point he made $5 million that year.
So you know it was over that.
You know it was over $5 million, and I was just like, good God, man, for 3 hours worth of work, man, probably not even that scripted.
Hell, they were just hanging out drinking.
I know, dude. That's a wild thing to think, man.
That's crazy. That's the world we live in, man. Like,
dude. So I don't know, but this fight between Tyson and Paul, man, it's probably gonna bog down Netflix servers. Is all I'm gonna say, dude. Because everybody wants to see that shit.
And if it's on Netflix, I'm assuming just your average subscription is gonna pay for, like, it's gonna be included in that shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's not gonna be any like pay-per-view type bullshit.
I doubt
extras.
it. If they start doing that, that's gonna
piss people off. Dude.
Shitty,
They've already been pissing people off by their price hikes, and they fucking crack down on channel or account
sharing accounts or whatever. Yeah, dude. And then they're also talking about like ads and stuff, like throwing that shit in. It's like, dude, can we just like stop, man? This is why everybody liked Netflix.
Exactly. Like you're already making tons of money. Just calm down. Like
you ain't gotta fuck us anymore.
Milk it even more.
Like, come on, man. Yeah. I get capitalism, but damn, brother.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't know, man. So we'll see what happens with that shit, dude.
Let's watch the little quick.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Video of them.
Check, big boy. Come on, sign the contract. Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract.
No problem. Saturday, July 20th. See you there, buddy.
Saturday, July 20th.
Yeah, there you go. Thank God it's on a Saturday.
See you there, buddy.
Yeah, man. Well, what kind of has me alarmed is like historically leading up to fights, which we still have many months to go.
Yeah.
So who knows? But historically leading up to fights, Tyson becomes very vocal and very aggressive. And he's super nice. And I feel
even during their little face off, like they didn't say anything.
Yeah.
They just a straight up face off.
And you can tell like Jake Paul is toned down a lot. Like he's not being like his normal
extra cocky.
Yeah, you know. So
I mean, you got to be an idiot if you're gonna be cocky in front of Mike Tyson's ass. Like, come on.
Boy, that motherfucker tried to bite your ear off.
Yeah.
Dude,
Go for the nose.
There's just so many stories that are like crazy about Tyson or whatever. Like, 'cause I remember I was watching an interview with him, and he was talking about he was in prison because he got convicted. Well, it was it sexual assault? It was like rape, something like that, right? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
It's been a long time, but it was something in that nature.
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, we've seen the interviews on how he talks to women to their face during an interview session.
We did like a whole episode where we played clips about it, dude. Like back in like his 20s, man, he was just a wild dude, man. But freaking, he was telling a story about how he was in prison, and he was like talking on the phone to his agent because he had all this money. So he like, I guess he had just like. He just be on the phone whenever he wanted, like, you know, calling cards or whatnot, get all the snacks he wanted, whatever the fuck. And he called his agent, and he said he was sitting in prison getting ready to get out. And his agent was like asking him like, what kind of car do you want? He was like, oh, like I want a Ferrari. And he's like, well, what color? Like red or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he was like, and his agent was just asked him, do you want tigers? And he's like, yeah, I'll take a couple tigers. So like when he walked out of prison, he had like this like red Ferrari or whatever waiting for him that had like 2 tiger cubs sitting in the passenger seat, and then he just drives off from prison, you know? So I don't know, it's wild. But like if you look at the picture, this is actually kind of cool. If you look at the pictures of before when he went to prison, right? Which he was already heavyweight world champion. And then when he got out of prison, dog, he is an animal compared to when he got out. Like versus like before, he gained so much muscle mass in prison. It was insane, dude. Like, because all he did was just work out all the time, dude. So, I mean, I guess you got a lot of time on your hands or whatever, you know?
And he probably couldn't eat that shitty, really. I mean, he probably...
Yeah. I bet nobody fucked with him the entire time he was in prison.
Fuck no.
There might have been like one idiot that was
Yeah, I mean, he fucking had to scrape his face off the pavement and was like, okay, I'm sorry, dude. Like,
dude, I would give that dude my cornbread or fruitcake or whatever the fuck we had.
Whatever you wanted.
Yeah, I was like, you want this whole fucking meal, have it, dude. I don't give a shit. I don't need to eat anyway. Trying a new diet. It's called not eating. Like, you know,
staying the fuck away from you.
Yeah. Because that was still when he was like crazy and shit and stuff, dude, you know? So, I don't know. But yeah, that's a good story, man. So that was like the top story I wanted to cover, like coming into it, man, because I think it's fun, it's entertaining, you know, but
Yeah, that's gonna be a good watch.
But we do have some other stuff on the menu.
Yeah.
Which I wish was a joke, but it's not. So, the State of the Union address. I'm sure if you haven't watched it, you need to watch it because, one, it is important to obviously hear what a sitting president has to say for the State of the Union. But it was also Joe Biden. And let me just say this. That was a tough watch.
Yeah.
Like, that was, oh, man.
I will give him this. He was much more coherent and able to string together sentences better than a lot of other times.
For the first 57 minutes.
He did fuck up a lot, but it wasn't like as, I don't know.
If you go, because I think the whole thing lasted, like, it was like an hour and 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to minute 57 and start watching from there, you see a rapid decline in his, like, ability to speak and, like,
his shit starts wearing off.
I think that's what it is. I think they just got him hyped up on some sort of, like, amphetamines and, like, steroids. And I think after, like, because he probably did it a few hours prior.
Yeah.
I think it just started wearing off, or maybe he was just getting overwhelmed. Because the dude is, I mean, he is old as shit, dude.
Kamala, like, had to reach up behind him and stab him with an EpiPen.
Oh, dog. I can go on about this forever, man. I know we got some shit we want to watch about it. So, yeah, all right, let's watch the Speaker of the House's response, Mike Johnson. His facial expressions that he was giving off during the State of Union address, because he sits right behind Biden.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
him and Kamala.
Yeah.
And then
so it's
Biden.
always Vice President and Speaker of the House, right? And dude, man, his face, he's like rolling his eyes and shaking his head. Like Biden will say stuff,
He's
you
like,
know, he's
"Ooh."
just like, what the fuck? You know? But then it was also kind of funny because like every single time Biden made any point, which was there was a lot, Kamala Harris would always stand up and start clapping.
I noticed.
It was
yeah.
actually kind of annoying. I kind of thought to myself, I was like, we should just all get some friends together and play a drinking game. And every time she stands up, we have to take a drink, and then we'll see, you know, how wasted you get, which is probably gonna be
I
blackout.
know. She acted like she was in a fucking Catholic church. Like, get up, get back down, get up, get back down.
Kneel, stand, stand. You know. But yeah, let's watch this clip, man, about Mike Johnson's response to the State of the Union address.
House Speaker Mike Johnson, who sat directly behind the president, gave his thoughts about President Biden's State of the Union address as well. Speaker Johnson said that lawmakers who heckled the president during his address were responding to an overly partisan speech. Johnson sat behind him and shook his head and grimaced at multiple moments throughout last night's speech.
Campaign speech, and a pretty vitriolic one at that. And so, you know, people are saying that I made funny facial expressions. I tried to keep a poker face, but it was very difficult. I disagreed so vehemently with so much of what he said.
Back here at home, Idaho Senator.
I tried to keep a poker face, but it was very difficult. Yeah, it's worth just watching for his facial expressions alone, dude. Like, there's times where he's just shaking his head, like denying what Biden is claiming or whatever, you know.
This dude's lying.
Yeah, yeah, you know. So it was interesting enough to watch, at least, you know. And then it was kind of cool to see like the Democrats' response, the Republicans' response, you know, and all that bullshit or whatever.
The hecklers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there was several hecklers, man. If you go back and you watch the entire thing, I want to say there was like 3 or 4 occasions separate people were yelling shit at him during the speech. One dude got arrested, actually. He was the father of a Marine that was killed when they were pulling out of Afghanistan, and then he just started screaming his kid's name. Yeah, I think he called Biden a liar or something along those lines. And then he was screaming about, you know, the United States Marine Corps, and security came in and forcibly removed him from the auditorium, from the chambers. Mm-hmm. So, but I did read that he got arrested. I don't know what he got charged with or anything like that. Maybe like a disorderly conduct, or who knows? I mean, you know, the world we live in, it could be like a class A felony or something, and he's looking at 25 to life, you know?
Yeah, like some Jan 6 type shit.
Yeah, dude. So, I don't know, but the State of the Union, it wasn't good. A lot of it was regurgitated bullshit, in my opinion.
A lot of it was the blame game, passing the shit on his predecessor.
Yeah, that was a lot of it. I was like, dude, like, just you wanted the title, own it, man. Like, you're almost done with your first term, and you're still blaming the previous president.
Yeah,
dude.
he brought up his predecessor over 13 times.
Really?
Yeah, during the
I remember him talking. I didn't realize it was that much.
Yep.
One thing that I did notice is, like, the opening of the State of the Union speech, he does not talk about America. He is talking about Israel and Gaza and all that shit happening.
Ukraine
and stuff.
shit.
And dude, I'm like, man, like that tells you a lot, man.
Yeah,
like,
where his priorities are.
yeah.
Not here.
Yeah, you know, it's like I'm more concerned about America, okay, and taking care of our shit and not spending money on everyone else
I'm
and starting
trying
shit
for
overseas.
lower gas prices and cheaper meat and be able to fucking still eat meat around here.
Yeah, no shit, right? Throw back to our previous episode where there's a whole movement with the UN to like stop us from like eating meat or whatever. Fuck that. But I don't know, man. I just didn't get a good warm and fuzzy off of it. It was actually really interesting because that what is her name? That is it Marjorie Taylor Greene? She's Republican. Oh god, she was the one wearing all the
the one that was wearing the MAGA hat and it's all red everything.
Yeah, and so she's been like very well known to be an avid QAnon like believer, and she's like
she was heckling the shit out of it.
And then like before it, she gave like Biden like a pendant or whatever that had Larkin Riley's name on it, which was a young lady that was killed by an illegal immigrant, right? And
she was a nurse, wasn't she?
I can't remember, to be honest with you, man.
I think she worked in healthcare.
I've read so many news articles preparing up for this episode, man. Like, I'm just starting to lose track of like half the stuff, to be honest with you. Like, when I was watching the State of the Union address, I was sitting there thinking, because it was so hard for me to sit through it all in one sitting. I was just like, God, the stuff that I have to watch for this show. It's like, you know, like it's like torture sometimes, man. Because I mean, I know we talk about politics a lot. I actually don't really like a lot of politicians or like any of that stuff. I just think most of it's stupid and groups are stupid. So, you know, but anyway, so that lady was just like, you know, say her name, Mr. President, before he gave the speech.
Yeah.
And he gets up there and he starts talking about it, and he was like, I know her name, and he calls her not Larkin Riley, but he calls her Lincoln Riley. And I was just like, oh, buddy, you did not just do that. You did not just do that. And there were several things that he just like fumbled over, man, and stuff. And so I don't know. Is it dementia? Is he just fucking old?
He's old.
I don't know, dude. So, but we'll see.
But again, I don't care if he's got dementia. He should at least care about the fucking country. You can be an old idiot and still care about your country.
Yeah, no shit, right? I know a lot of old timers that sit at the gas station drinking coffee at like 7 a.m. They'll be more than happy to tell you about what they think about this country.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't know.
They don't give a shit about the Ukraine.
Yeah, because most of the time I live in a small town, so like what a lot of like the older like farmers and stuff will do, like they're like retired.
They're like 70 plus.
Yeah, they will sit at one of our local gas stations, and they'll just like read newspapers, drink coffee, and talk shit to each other. And but it's kind of funny. Every now and then you'll get like catcalled by them or something like that. You know, like they'll say something. You know, like I don't know. I've talked about it before. I think one time I bought like a case of Bud Light, and one guy went off. He was like, "You support transgenders?" I was like, "What?" And he was just
I'm
like,
trying to get drunk like you idiot.
It was like right when that Dylan Mulvaney shit started. I was like, I don't care about this or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, he was like tearing into me, and I was just like, dude, what the fuck is happening, man? Like, leave me alone.
Like, I'm trying to buy my beer. It's 8 a.m. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like I'd had like an entire I'd worked on a bunch of shit through the night and stuff. Like, so I was like literally like even though it was like early in the morning, like I was about to go to bed like an hour or two or whatever. And so I'm just like sitting here just like getting harassed by like this 70-plus-year-old like retired farmer wearing a MAGA hat. I was like, cool, right on, brother, I get it. He doesn't know anything about me or my history or my past or like my political beliefs. I'm like, actually, you know, we probably would line up on a lot of things if you sat down and actually talked to me, but I don't know. But it is entertaining to say the least. But one thing I did notice about the State of the Union speech, man, is there was somebody in the crowd that I have not seen in a minute, and then I started seeing his name pop up in the news a little bit here recently. Old George Santos, man. The former U.S. representative from the great state of New York. I almost said New York City, but of New York. So for those of you who don't know, he got in a little bit of trouble, and he was expelled from Congress. Like, he got basically fired from being like a U.S. representative.
Because he got caught on multiple different things.
Oh, it was
from
a lot of
lying,
shit.
money laundering, like
he's got
a misappropriation of funds.
Yeah, he's got like legit criminal charges he's facing right now. But then on top of that, there's like moral and ethical concerns of like he got caught lying about a lot of shit, man. And he basically just fabricated his entire reality. Like,
He got caught lying about shit that there was no reason to even lie
yeah,
about.
like where he went to school,
Yeah.
like who his parents were. Like it was just he created an entire like fake
persona
and then ran for Congress. Like nobody was ever gonna check into that shit. Like, come on, man, get real. But we do have a funny. Well, it's just news, but we do have a video to watch that kind of sums up what he's been up to recently.
Yeah.
But I did find it interesting that he was at the State of the Union address, though.
He figured he could worm his way in
Because he's not a member of Congress right now. I mean, maybe it's one of those, like, ballroom parties where it's like, you plus one, get to come.
Maybe.
When you get a ticket or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, let's watch this video, man, and then we'll talk about that a little bit.
Former New York Congressman George Santos is running for office again. Santos expelled back in December, accused of lying about his background to get elected and using campaign funds for personal use. He's only the 6th House member ever to be expelled from Congress. He will be the first expelled member to run for Congress since 2010. Santos is facing charges in his criminal fraud case. He has pleaded not guilty.
Dude, I just like his facial expression. Like, he does not care.
No.
He's just smiling and he's acting like everything's normal. Like, there's no way I'm guilty at all. Like, come on, dude. Dude, you lied and you kept that money. We all know. Come on. You just got caught. Like, they all do this crap. You know what I mean? I mean, that's how,
everybody does that shit.
It's like by the time, when they first set foot in office, like, I have a net worth of like $500,000. Cool, get it, whatever. And then it's like fast forward like 6 years, I'm worth like $15 million. How the fuck you think that happened?
My salary is only $200,000 a year, but
Yeah, we do not participate in insider trading. Right.
I'm in real estate.
I diversify my portfolio.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. But Santos, I got to give it to that guy, man. Even though I don't like him. I mean, I think he's the definition of a piece of crap. I don't think he has any business being in Congress, much like a lot of those guys, actually. But I got to give it to him, man. His willingness to stick to his guns, dude. I mean, he's got to...
Yeah, like even after all that's happened to him and people just know he's a fucking liar, he's still just up there on the podium smiling, acting like nothing ever happened.
Kissing babies and shit.
Dude.
And I'm just like, and then it makes me wonder, like, who would vote for this guy?
I don't know.
Because it's not like, that's not even like really even quite, like that is out. Like those are facts.
Yeah.
Like it's not even a question. You know what I mean? Like, so who knows, man? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but those guys are always like deflecting and ducking and dodging shit and like... And one thing I've noticed over the years of paying attention to politics, anytime these dudes in Congress catch a criminal charge, dog, that shit just gets brushed under the rug. You just don't hear about it.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, like, we'll handle it. And then usually, like, the DOJ will release a statement, like, very quietly and be like, we just dismissed all charges in this case or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, this is what we're doing, But I don't know. George Santos, though, it would be I would not be surprised if he won, though, because it is New York.
Yeah.
And New York is just has some biblical level plague shit descending upon it at this point. So
I feel sorry for the people there.
Dog, I feel sorry for the people who live upstate New York, man.
Yeah, because that's a nice place.
Yeah, and
like, upstate New York is nice.
It's actually like a lot of Republicans that live up there too, man. Like more conservative, and so it's just people in the inner cities just fucking their shit up, and they're like, God.
Same shit can be said about Texas.
Yeah. I guess it's a little more inverse here, though, right? Well, no, actually, no. Yeah, I'm sorry, I flip flop that around.
Well,
but
typically the majority of idiots are in the big cities.
It's really all congregate.
Yeah.
They're attracted to it, whatever it may be.
Like a moth to a flame.
Yeah, we got some pretty freaking liberal places. Like even like down like Houston and stuff, man. Like there's some districts where it's like, oh shit, okay, this is completely blue. It's kind of surprising.
But look at the demographics.
Yeah.
Like
no,
it is what it is.
So I don't know, but I'm kind of curious to see how like voting takes place this presidential election around Austin, considering how much Austin has blown up in the last 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, Texas is like dangerously close to becoming a blue state. Mm-hmm. I think. Yeah. So
for sure, man. Like all it takes is one real charismatic person to come along, and then I could see it. But
that or a couple 100,000 more fucking immigrants.
Yeah. Oh god, I don't even know if I want to touch that subject, man, because we've been hammering that down a lot here lately, dude. Because that's just been wild, And that was one thing too. Like Biden was talking about like the illegal immigration shit during his speech, man, and it's just like, dog, what are you doing, man? You can just tell he's pandering, man. He's like virtue signaling. He's just trying to get votes, man. That's all that is, dude.
I saw an interview after the speech, and someone asked him, they were like, do you feel bad about calling them illegals? And he thought about it. He was kind of stumbling. He was like, well, they're technically not supposed to be here. And then he just went on. Like okay, well, even you fucking know it, but...
What are you gonna... Undocumented immigrants? Is that the right term that we're starting to use now?
I don't know.
But you also notice, like, how, like, the terms change, like, every, like, 5 or 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, come on, man. Like, just shut the fuck up. As long as we all know what we're talking about, that's all that matters. Mm-hmm. Call it whatever you want, you know what I mean? Like... But I don't know, man. It's getting wild. I mean, politics is getting wild. We've already established, we know that this is going to be a crazy year. This is going to be a lot of our content that we talk about and really just make fun of, honestly, because I'm really trying to stay positive and lighthearted about all this.
Yeah, you have to laugh at some of this shit to keep from getting pissed off.
But yeah, man, I guess we can move on and talk about our next politician, one of my favorite people, old Nikki Haley.
She's people's champ.
Champion of the people.
Yeah.
She's had a rough ride the last couple of days, right? Well, I think, all right, so we looked it up. So officially, she's out, right?
Yeah. As of the making of this, 3 days ago, she dropped out.
Well, we also have a video about that, too. So we'll just watch that, and then we'll go ahead and we'll hit that video, too, man.
Welcome to BBC News Now. We're going to start in the US with that breaking news. Nikki Haley expecting to pull out of the race to become the Republican Party's nominee for the next presidential race. She'd been trailing the favourite Donald Trump by quite some way. We are expecting to hear from her in the next 3 hours or so. She's supposed to be delivering a speech. When that happens, of course, we'll bring that to you. But the expectation is she is pulling out of the race to become the Republican Party's nominee for the next presidential race. And after Super Tuesday, another round of voting by Republicans, you can see why. Let's take a look at the latest number of delegates held by Donald Trump. So you can see there, for Donald Trump to win the party's nomination and therefore run for the presidential election, he needs just over 1,200, already got 1,000 of them. So pretty much there for Donald Trump on the...
Well, I think it's safe to say he's going to get that nomination.
Yeah.
There's no way around.
There's no one else. There's no one else anyway. No. It was always Donald. There's no one else.
The second coming of Christ. Dude, I don't know, man. A lot of our shorts have been all about politics here lately, so those are all references back to like a lot of our stuff. So if you haven't checked those out, I highly suggest that you go and do that because those are entertaining to say the least. But yeah, man, he's definitely got that nomination like already. You know, I mean, there's no way he could not. You know.
Yeah.
Unless they're trying to do that bullshit last ditch effort where they get him thrown in like some state prison somewhere or whatever. But even then, like the amount of time it would take to go to trial, and then you have to get found guilty, but then you have to get like. You're not immediately going to be like sentenced. Well, sorry, you get like charged and you go to trial and then it gets dragged out and then they find if you're guilty or not. And then you can even still delay. There's cases like where like from being found guilty to the moment you actually go to jail, you can work in to be like, hey, I need a month or I need 3 months.
4 years.
You can negotiate. It happens all the time in like fraud and finance cases and stuff like that. You know, that's how these people will be like, we're still working on Wall Street and be like, oh yeah, I got to go to prison in a year. You know? So whatever. But yeah, no, he beat the ever living shit out of Nikki Haley. That's for sure, man. And what was so funny is she was talking so much shit. I think we covered it on the last episode too, didn't we?
I think, but like, how realistically, how could like with her track record, it's not like she's been sweeping states.
No, all she won was the District of Columbia, like Washington D.C., and then during Super Tuesday, where like basically 1/3 of the nation votes for the primary election, she won one state. She won Vermont,
and it's little. Like
yeah,
I wonder how many electoral votes they even have.
I don't know.
Not very many.
Yeah, it can't be a lot. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's, I don't know, like California or Texas or something like that, or Florida, you know? So I don't know. But yeah, he basically crushed her. I mean, I watched it. Even watching like the results come in live, I was just like, there's no point in even watching this.
I know. I watched some of it early on, and I mean, he was leading by like double, like ridiculous amounts. I was like, yeah, okay, he won.
Yeah. One thing I did notice too, man, that almost 800,000 people voted for Biden in the state of Maine.
Damn.
I was like, dog. How, man? I mean, I get it, you know, but at the same time, it's like, dog.
So the population in Maine is 1.37 million.
Mm-hmm.
So over 3/4 of them
basically, yeah,
support Biden.
Well, we'll say well over half. Well over, like half, yeah. It's probably 2/3.
Probably 2/3,
2/3, yeah.
Yeah. Holy
so,
shit.
I don't know if I like doing math right now. Yeah, it's pretty late. But, yeah, man. That's surprising.
That's surprising.
Man. You know, considering, like, I get it, man. Like, if you want to vote for your party, vote for your party, man. But at the same time, like, dog, like, Biden, of all fucking people, like, given the last 3 years and some change,
like, just don't vote.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
If you hate Trump, just don't vote.
And dude, like, I mean, over the summer, I mean, I went to Maine, and dude, there was a lot of, I got more of the libertarian vibe there than anything, man, because they like, we love our guns, like we love our weed, like all this other shit, and
it says the population of Maine is 94% white.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised. I mean,
yeah.
When I was up there, yeah, I was like, oh, this is a very white state. Like, you know, well, I was only in like Portland too, so I didn't go out in the countryside or anything like that or whatever. But I still stand by it though. I love Maine. It's a great state, dude. It's beautiful. People are all super cool, super friendly.
800,000 of them are stupid though.
A lot of fuck the police, and all cops are bastard signs. But hey, you know what? Is what it is, dog. I'm just saying.
That explains the Biden shit, I guess.
Yeah, there was a lot of that up there, man. A lot of like private businesses had signs like that in their windows and stuff.
Really?
In the city of Portland, yes.
They obviously aren't getting the levels of crime as the other.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I mean, Maine's like pretty liberal with their guns too, man. So I think it might kind of be
people away.
Like a Texas thing, you know? Yeah. It's just like, hey, everyone here has a gun, dude. So, but I don't know. To get back on Nikki Haley though, dude, I'm glad she's out because I didn't like her from day one, and you know, it had nothing to do with the fact that she was a woman.
No, she's just not fit for the job.
She's just not fit for the job. Like, I don't give a shit if a dude or a woman or like whatever race, gender.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
We just want somebody responsible and capable of doing the fucking job. Right.
Competent, yeah. Just be good at the job. And I don't particularly think anybody any names I saw on the ballots for the primary election that I went and voted. Any name I saw on there, no names ever stood out to be like, this is a very competent person that I want to do this job.
I mean, typically there never is.
No, it's just always the lesser like evils or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But I just never liked her. Like, 'cause, I mean, she bailed out on her job as ambassador of the UN, and then you want to and she only did it for 2 years. Then you want to run and like tell the American people like, oh, I want to be in charge of the largest, strongest military in the world.
Yeah.
Are you fucking high, lady?
You couldn't handle a smaller job, so then you think you can take on the highest job? Like,
yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
I think she was just hoping his ass would go to fucking jail and she'd get the nomination.
Yeah, she would just be a shoo-in.
Yeah, I think that's what she was holding out for, dude. So
probably. That's probably why she waited this long to drop out.
But we are getting really good at predicting things on this show, though. Almost like, just imagine the worst case scenario. That's how it's going to play out. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, that's just how it's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and call it right now. As of now, she has not done that. Okay? You can go ahead and say the date. Fuck it. Why not? March 9th. As of March 9th, she has not endorsed Donald Trump. Mark my words, she will do it. She will do that shit, man. So she's probably gonna do it soon too.
Trump's gonna be like, Nikki Haley, you're a dog.
You're trash.
You're nothing.
I can't wait.
Your face is disgusting.
Oh, just dude, wait till we get closer to November, man. The nicknames he's gonna have for people. That's gonna be so fun. It's entertainment. It's pure entertainment, dude. Like, I mean, really,
it's better than reality TV because it's
real.
It's real reality TV.
It's like, holy shit, dude. Like, one of these guys is actually going to control the strongest country in the world. What the fuck, man?
This guy has to have relations with China and Russia to try to make deals so we don't go to war.
Yeah, man. So he's an interesting character, dude. But, you know, yeah, for whatever his driving motivation is, you can't stop that guy, man. You know, I mean, they took a lot of money from him in the Jean Carroll civil suit. The city of New York, they took a lot of money. They took like over $300 million from his ass. And, you know, he dropped those shoes and he sold out them shoes. What was it, 2 hours? What we figured out? You know, and who knows how much money he made from that? Because they were what, like $400 a pop or some shit?
Something like that.
So,
and he had he dropped a cologne line as well. Like,
I did see a funny meme years ago. It was when Trump first got elected, and they were really talking about the Russian collusion, which all came out to be a hoax. And like,
it was the opposite party that was accusing him that were the ones.
Yeah, and that all came out on WikiLeaks and all that shit. It was like, oh, okay, yeah, here we go. So
it's like whenever your girlfriend accuses you of cheating and you know you're not cheating, she's probably cheating. That's why she's saying you're doing it. It was that situation.
That's a really good analogy, actually. It's like what people are mostly afraid about or insecure of, they'll project outwards. You know,
and then that's who they are. Like that's what they're doing or whatever.
I mean, it's like Adam Schiff too, man. I actually think that he's in love with Donald Trump.
Adam Schiff.
Yeah, Schiff. He was the dude who was leading the committee that was investigating like all the Russian collusion shit and stuff like that.
Oh.
Democrat. He's just a wormy dude, man. And he promoted like the Steele dossier. He was like, this is factual. And that all got disproven. Like almost every intelligence community that we have, I think there's what, 13 or 17 of them.
Too fucking many.
There's a lot. Yeah. Some of them probably watch this. But they all came out and they were like, no, like there's no evidence to support that this is legit.
They were like, you and George Santos, get out of here.
Scram. Yeah. I think I told you about it before, man. I troll Adam Schiff a lot on X. On X, dude. Because Schiff, man, he's kind of like Biden. Like, so Biden, anytime he gives a speech, he always has to talk about, you want to pull up his picture. Anytime Biden gives like a speech or whatever, talking about anything, he always has to go back and relate it to Trump somehow and blaming Trump or whatever. Well, Schiff has been doing the exact same thing just because he's a fucking company man for the DNC and he can't do anything on his own. And I don't know who the fuck keeps electing people like this. So, but anyway, he got on X because he thought that would be a good idea because X has basically turned into the wild, wild west of the internet since Elon Musk fucking deregulated all that shit and took it over.
Some free speech now and again.
Yeah, it's wild, man. So Schiff gets on there and like everything Schiff posts, damn near everything is about Donald Trump in some negative light, right? And especially it's starting to get worse now because it's election year.
Yeah.
So I've just started through anonymous accounts asking questions like, when did you know that you were in love with Donald Trump? How does his dick taste? These are questions that the American people want to know. He has yet to respond to any of my accounts, but I'm still holding out and hoping for it. Adam Schiff, if you want to come on the Dumpster Diaries podcast, we will have you on, man. You name the terms, we'll do it, man. I don't give a shit. I'll fly to DC to interview that dude. Like, I'd be like, yeah, you know that anonymous user 75321 whatever. Like, it's been me this whole time. Rip it up at the end of the interview and be like, fuck you, get out of here. Yeah, but I don't know, man. So we'll see. So what, Haley's out, so it's basically gonna be Trump. From what I gathered from Super Tuesday, it's gonna be Biden.
Yeah.
Now, what has me kind of...
As of now.
Yes. So what has me kind of worried is because it's just politics. I'm not saying this because it's any one party, right? There's always just dirty shit happening. Just look at the crap they release in the media. You know that shit behind closed doors has got to be 10 times worse, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably just straight up blackmail and extortion at that point, you know? And so...
It's like us compared to our initial thoughts versus what we can actually say a lot of the times.
Oh, yeah. Because of things like community guidelines. Yeah. You know? It's cool, man. You know, we really value free speech in this country. But, yeah, dude, so I think something's going to happen with Biden. Like, he's either going to drop out at the last minute or he's going to be deemed, like, unfit.
It's going to be a fucking bait and switch type
It's going to be a bait and switch type of thing, and they're going to get a candidate in there that no one would have ever voted for, dude. Or they'll let him set foot in the office and then maybe, say, hypothetically, he just resigns. He has some health issues or whatever. Then it's like, oh, who's going to be the vice president? Because I'm going to bet my bottom dollar it's not going to be Kamala Harris.
No.
She caught too much shit. So over the whole border, because she was supposed to be in charge of that, and she literally fumbled the ball.
She didn't do anything.
She didn't go down there until like after like what 6 or 7 months of being in office.
She went to Europe before she went to the border. Like,
You're like, France? Hell yeah, I go to France. Mexico? Let me out of here.
Eagle Pass.
Eagle Pass? I ain't never heard of this
That
shit.
ain't on my bucket list.
Nah, I think I'm good. I think I'm just going to hang out here or whatever. Like, holy
Be
shit.
like, Germany?
man.
All right.
Yeah, no shit. A very safe and well-developed nation. Yeah, I'll go there, but Mexico? Nah, I don't know, man. Like, so... It's going to be a bait and switch thing. Now, I don't know who it's going to be. And that's where it starts to get really interesting because I think most logical people can agree that it's going to come down to Biden and Trump once again.
Yeah.
And, but I want to know who the vice presidents are going to be because, and I only am really concerned about this because of both of those gentlemen's age. That's where I'm concerned. Because, I mean, you already run the risk of having a heart attack in your 60s, man.
Oh, yeah.
You start pushing 90, dude. Like, what the fuck, man?
I mean, they're already above the average life expectancy of a person.
Yeah, dude. Because it's what we looked it up one time. What was it, 72 or 77 in America?
It changes, but yeah, it's somewhere around there.
Yeah. So, I remember we looked it up a while back because we were talking about like birth rates and all kinds of stuff or whatever.
77.
Yeah, 77 years in America. So, I don't know, man. That's what has me worried. I want to know, who are you talking about vice president?
Yeah.
Not that the vice presidency really matters all that much, but still, in the God forbid, but in the offhand chance something does happen, you got to know who your number 2 player is going to be, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but
that's why they're propping Biden up with amphetamines and shit because they don't want Kamala to take.
I'm telling you, man. I watched that State of the Union address, man. To keep going back to it, dude. Watch the first 5 minutes. Fuck it. Watch the first minute, right? You'll gauge how he's speaking, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward to minute 57. Tell me there is not a difference. Something wore off or something kicked in. That's all I'm saying, dude. You know what I mean? So I don't know, dude. It's wild. But I did like that Mike Johnson's facial expressions, though. It was just so fun. I was literally laughing. I was like, holy shit, dude. Because you could tell where he just tried to contain himself.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, God.
He was like, how can I sit here and listen to this shit?
Because, I mean, you got to think about it, too. At that point, man, you're so high profiled. If he even clapped at the wrong thing, that has a huge ripple effect.
Oh, yeah.
Like, between lobbyists, money being donated to campaigns. I mean, it could be all kinds of shit. So, God damn, it would suck to have a job like that.
I mean, like he said, he would just have to put on a poker face and just try not to make any facial expressions.
Imagine every single thing you do, you're just, like, constantly
totally scrutinized, like, under a microscope.
Like, ooh, he smiled. It's like, yeah, because it was the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life, you know? Like,
don't you laugh at bullshit when you hear it too? Like,
but I don't know. So I want to know who the VPs are going to be, but also, man, I do think the bait and switch thing is going to happen with the Democrats. Now, before or after the general election, that's up for debate for me right now.
Yeah.
Still. And goddamn, if this shit comes true, dude, I swear to God, I'm buying a lottery ticket. I'm getting tired of being right, dude. I really am, because we've done it throughout so many episodes on our shit. But with the Trump stuff, man, like, I think they're just gonna keep. Cause they can't stop him, obviously.
No, they're just gonna keep trying to nail him up with civil cases. That seems to be civil is what they're aiming for now.
Because the criminal shit ain't working.
No.
Criminal shit, that ain't gonna. Even if he's found fucking guilty, he'll never see a day in jail, man. Just mark my words.
And they're still trying to do the shit about him, like, while he was president, they can't charge him with certain things because while you're in presidential office, you're, like, basically
get immunity.
Yeah,
it's presidential immunity or whatever. And they were trying to debate whether or not he could even have that.
Be like, he was the fucking president, so seems like you qualify.
Yeah, there's like a theory in, like, political science that essentially anything the president does is legal. Because he's literally the president. Like,
above the law.
Yeah, there is like a whole like theory on it and stuff like that or whatever. So
we need to remind our other lesser high-profiled officials that they are not above the law.
Yeah,
man. A lot of them seem to think they are. Yeah. And a lot of them are treated like they are. So
I think that shit just goes to their head, man.
It does, but at the same time, no one reprimands them or does anything to them. So you're allowed to think that way if that's the way you've been treated.
I mean, like, what can you do, really? I mean, because the only thing we can do is just sit back and be like, well, I guess I'll just wait for another election cycle, and I just won't vote for that dude.
But then half of them motherfuckers, once they get in, they're in. You don't vote. I mean,
yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you on that one, but I do think that
I'm gonna make a citizen's arrest.
we're just like up in DC.
Yeah.
They got like body cams on and shit. Sir, this is a citizen's arrest. Go get that Matt Gaetz guy who's fucking 17-year-old prostitutes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Get his ass down in Florida. Be like, hey, buddy, it's over. It's over. The gig's up, champ. Dressed like a Texas Ranger, got boots on and a hat and shit. You know?
say you're a fucking bounty hunter.
His dog. The big bad dog. Oh my God, man. Dude. But yeah, dude, they're gonna keep just throwing shit at Trump, man, 100%. And they're literally just throwing shit at the wall until hoping it sticks.
I mean, this is like, well, they've been trying to nail that dude since he was running the first time.
Yeah.
So,
and I think like everyone kind of like is already. I've talked to like some of my more liberal friends and people who are like diehard Democrats, right? Because I'm friends with people on like all sides of the spectrum, man. And even they are like, we are fucking tired of it. Like, we don't even care if he's guilty. Like, just get past it, move on. Like, that's really what America like fucking wants.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like at some point, you have to just
move on.
Yeah.
It's like, you know,
like that dead horse is beaten.
Yeah, dude. It's
There's
like
nothing left.
Shit, even after the Watergate scandal and stuff with like fucking Nixon, after a few years, everybody was like, man, fuck it. Like,
Yeah,
you know what
true.
I mean? Like, I mean,
that was a real thing. Like,
yeah, he stepped down. He resigned.
Yeah.
The nation needs to heal. What'd be fucking wild is like, well, no, never mind. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. I had like a crazy idea, and I was like, nah, that shit ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. I was like, what if Biden won and then he pardoned Trump on all his crimes? And I was like, oh, another state crimes and civil.
That would be
suits.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, how if Biden just had like an out of his head moment and he was like, just immediately pardoned Trump and like, I don't know, like in a fit of dementia.
It's time for the nation to heal. Yeah. Like talking, like give some like great ass speech, like some Friday Night Lights shit going on, you know, like
he has his one moment of clarity. He just gives like an outstanding speech and everyone's like,
pardons Trump in front of everyone. I don't know. Who do you think? This is actually an interesting question to kind of bring up, though. Just real quick off the wall, because I know we got one more video we want to show. So, you know, famously, the last day in office, presidents pardon people.
Mm.
A lot of times, if they're rerunning for election and stuff, they'll wait to the end of their second term to get real crazy with it.
Yeah.
Do you think Biden would try to pardon his son on the way out?
That would not surprise me at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Bill Clinton had some scandalous pardons that he did. Like, I mean, it was like straight criminals. Like but they were like his friends.
Obama did the same shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they bail their buddies out like the last minute or whatever, you know. It's my ride or die, bro. You know,
like, I told you I got you.
But yeah, man. So anyway, to go back to it, dude. So they're just basically just throwing shit at the wall, see if it'll stick for Donald Trump to try to stop him from running for president. So whether that's try to get him in a state jail somewhere, bankrupt his ass,
or hell, even like we're about to talk about these damn states that are trying to take him off the ballot.
Yes, and this is actually really important because the Supreme Court's recent decision on this shit. Supreme Court of the United States, not a state, by the way.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and watch this video, man, and then we will talk about this stuff.
All right, we just got the breaking news. Thank you for being with us here on MSNBC. The Supreme Court issuing a ruling on the Colorado ballot case. I want to go straight to Ken Delanian, who is outside the Supreme Court with this decision. Ken, what do we know?
Good morning, Anna. We've learned that it was a 9-0 decision ruling that Donald Trump can be on the ballot in Colorado and other states. Justices during the oral argument seemed very skeptical of the idea that one state could decide for the nation whether Donald Trump was an insurrectionist and was therefore disqualified under this 150-year-old provision. Now we know that there was not a single justice who held that view, so there were no dissents to this 9-0 decision ruling that Donald Trump can remain on the ballot in Colorado as voters go to the polls tomorrow during Super Tuesday, and also in Maine, where there had been a decision to disqualify him from the ballot. And this ruling, we understand, has the effect of prohibiting other states from attempting to do so. And that really reflects what we heard from both liberal and conservative justices during the oral arguments, Anna. For example, Elena Kagan confronting the plaintiffs, essentially saying, your problem here is that you're arguing that one state can decide for the nation who can be president, and no justice was willing to go along with that.
That's a rare thing.
Yeah.
I mean, 9-0, man. Like, I mean, every single issue that I can ever recall, like, reading about, hearing about, like, at Supreme Court, for the most part, in modern news.
Not been unanimous.
It's never been unanimous. There's always at least, like, 1, 2, or 3 holdouts, you know what I mean? Like, it might get, like, one slight majority and squeeze it through or whatever.
Like a 5-4, that kind of shit.
But the thing is what? 3 of those people that sit on the bench are, like, literally Democrats.
Yeah.
And they were like, no.
So
like,
even
fuck
if, like,
this.
if all 9 of them can agree to that says something.
That tells you something.
Yeah,
dude. So, because I don't want to hear any more of that dumb shit, dude. It's like,
and the insurrection argument is so fucking stupid, man.
God. Yeah, dude. Like they're
that
just.
Shit pisses me off every time.
It is such a stretch, dude.
To top it all off, he's never been convicted of it because it didn't fucking happen.
Yeah.
So for some one person, and they say it's the state. It's not the state. It's one fucking judge that gets something up his ass, and he's like, "Oh, we're taking Trump off the ballot."
Yeah, dude.
It's not the state. It's just one fucking person.
I don't know, man. So anyone who was involved in that dude, like, especially taking him off the ballot, like the Secretary of State, I cannot remember her name. I think it's Gina something. Damn. The Secretary of State for Colorado. She gave like an interview as soon as she excuse me, the decision to get him off the Colorado ballot. As soon as they shit in my throat. As soon as they decided to remove him from the ballot, she gave an interview and she was talking about it, and she was just talking. Gina Griswold is her name, man, and this has got to be one of the dumbest human beings I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, she is the youngest elected Secretary of State in the U.S.
Okay.
So that probably tells you a little bit.
Yeah, how old is she?
I don't know. We need to figure that out.
Digging that real quick, but she might have a Wikipedia page, actually. Probably does, after all this.
I'm sure.
But, dude, and she was just talking about how, like, this is how we're going to protect democracy. Like, she's 39 years old. That's surprising. But anyway.
That is surprising.
But she's just, like, talking about this is how we're going to save democracy. I'm like, no. Shut the fuck up. What you're talking about is rigging a goddamn election.
Yeah, that is not how you save anything.
You know what I mean? That's how you save your own ass.
Yeah.
And all the judges, all the motherfuckers, all that mid-level government, because those are the motherfuckers, their names hardly ever make it in the news. And those guys have more sway and more influence over shit than most motherfuckers sitting in Congress, dude, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And those are the cocksuckers we have to be worried about, you know? But you don't ever fucking hear their names because they're nameless, faceless politicians. But you give me like 5 or 6 swing states, and you start getting enough little federal judges in there and shit like that, and the Secretary of State's on board, maybe a state Supreme Court is on board. Fuck, man. Yeah, you can make a lot of crazy shit go down. But whatever. I've also, in preparation for this year's election, I've also started watching House of Cards again, so I'm real pumped. You know? Oh, dude. Did you ever see that video about Kevin Spacey? Talking about, like, I think he was like talking about running for president. Is it a little video he did with like Tucker Carlson? I'll show it to you later. We don't have it set up to like pull up, but Kevin Spacey did like a weird thing where he went into that character from House of Cards, Frank Underwood, and did like a 5-6 minute interview with Tucker Carlson, and then, like, Carlson was asking him like, "Are you going to run for president?" And everyone thought, like, after this interview, they were like, is Kevin Spacey talking about running for fucking president? But I don't know. If he was anything like the character in that TV show, he would have ran that shit like a gangster, is all I'm saying, man. Because there's a lot of shit in that show that you see playing out, man, where they just, dude, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just wild, dude. So, I don't know. But as always, like we've talked about and we agreed our New Year resolution, folks, we are going to be positive and always hope for the best, right?
2024.
All right, hang in there, guys.